Get the shades back on.
I mean, come on. That's the one.
Okay, so we've talked about kind of change management, transformation, other areas. You mentioned security earlier on as like a key area for you guys. It's often one of the first things that kind of comes up with customers. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Of course. So we talk about security first often because people are often very tense about that. Even if it's not a conscious thing which they mention, it often is in the background sort of bubbling away. And you often can't...
And it's gonna, if you don't deal with it, it's gonna come back up, isn't it?
It means,
at some later date.
That, and also means you can't really talk about the more progressive stuff. So, all right, you can talk about collaboration, but people often don't care so much until you've addressed the big security like worries. We try and lead with that.
And probably even more so now with GDPR and things like that.
People are very worried about that.
Yes,
often. I feel like there should be some sort of GDPR swear-tin in meetings because it gets mentioned so often unnecessarily. But yeah, we try and lead with security because there's so many reasons that Google is very secure. You'd rather have a big company looking after your IT infrastructure than your own self, right? The resources they have are just completely different. You've got the reliability, 99.9% uptime, so you've got that. Some of the AI and machine learning stuff that Google are building in is fantastic.
Around security as well, as you say, like the stuff in enterprise with the security center.
Right.
And rather than sort of reactive, more sort of proactive.
Totally. And taking the strain away from the IT admin, right? There's no need, the AI stuff completely melts that away, right? It looks at the threats for you. But even stuff as basic as the spam filter, right? So it catches 99.9% of the spam emails, and they want to go after the 0.12 with the AI machine learning stuff. So it's like that kind of innovation. They want to get to 100.
You're
just not going to get that with your own company's infrastructure. Right?
And do you find that we find often customers are sort of using some third-party spam filtering tool,
right?
Or, and that's another cost they're paying for as well.
This is
that if they were kind of honest, well, we could. Google can take over that, and reduce that cost.
It can be interesting because people are worried about that, right? And they think, it has to be a third-party thing to be proper. But that's because their experiences of maybe Office 365, where...
Or an in-house Exchange, very different.
You kind of need it, but Google's one's fantastic. We really, really highly, strongly recommend against any third-party spam.
No, we won't really let customers do it unless there's some, legitimate reason for it. Their MX records have to go through Google. I mean, it's pretty much the best in the world. I mean, it's got to be up there at the top 3. Do you know what I mean?
I would argue one, but yes.
Yeah, no, I would imagine it is, but do you know what I mean? I'm sure there's someone out there who'll argue, well, there's this other one that, like Google is at the top. Do you know what I mean? So whatever spam filtering solution you have, it's probably going to be better than it. Do you know what I mean? So outside of the spam stuff, other security things, two-factor authentication has been big this year. There's been a lot of conversation about that. Google launched their Titan key. We haven't gotten ours yet. I'm still waiting on mine. But I'm interested in the mobile one as well.
You can use your Android phone as
like a wireless type thing. And I've just switched to the Pixel 4.
So yes, two-factor authentication, probably the biggest win for the least effort, right? And Google have this stat that they like to quote, and we do too, where once they introduced security keys with two-factor, they just never had an account compromisation. But
amazing.
Another thing I'm a huge fan of is the user-based warnings. Have you seen these? And so in the admin console, there's a whole set of user-based warnings you can switch on, and it means when users get emails which are particularly suspicious in one way, maybe it's spoofing or maybe
user-based security stuff. Yeah, sure.
That's fantastic, right? Because a lot of the times, even if it goes through the spam filter, even with a little warning, the user can sort of pick up on that and at least question it, right?
They're more likely to question it, Totally. Have you found or have you come across companies or end users in your kind of customer base that have been kind of duped by that social engineering thing? Is that something
I have a fantastic example.
Really? Okay. Because this happened to us a few times, so I've come across this before.
Totally. Well, it's to do with those user-based warnings. So we had a big company move to G Suite, and they were from using Outlook before as clients. One guy remained on Outlook. One guy.
Why one guy?
Well, we don't know.
I bet it was a CEO or something, was it? It was an exec.
We tried. It might have been. We tried our best to get everyone off it, managed to accept one guy. So, I mean, that's
pretty good. That's pretty good.
But
I mean, that's Google's 99.9%.
Well, you can see why it is a problem now. So a spam sort of email got distributed, and it was a classic phishing thing. So click on the link, sign in. So every user that was on using Gmail as a client, they saw those warnings and they messaged their colleagues like, should we look at this, or are we? Or they maybe phoned.
Yeah, they questioned it.
But the guy that got caught out was using Outlook, didn't see the warning, filled in his details, and he got phished. So that's a very clear example of the difference, right? All it takes is a user-based warning to have that little bit of
If he'd have
action.
been using Gmail or if he'd had two-step verification, either or.
So likely he would have caught it.
Yeah. I mean, the two-step is just, I feel like it should be a no-brainer. I know we were talking to the Kimberly guys about that, and they were, was it you guys or them, was including security keys in?
That would be them, yeah. That's part of their sort of package.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool idea. I think it was James or Kyle was mentioning that, and I thought that was a cool idea, including it. Now, I think with some of the customers we'd work with at the scale, it could be costly, yeah. But I think maybe if you ran a security workshop, and you had maybe the IT team, you could buy 10 of them or something and give those out. And I think that
for high risk individuals, for sure.
Sure, yeah, execs or something like that. And even introducing it to the business is kind of saying, this is a thing, you should consider this.
Of course.
Whereas, and at the time of migration, because often customers they have great intentions at the time of migration. No one will do that, and then they're migrated and they're on the system, and obviously other work takes over and the project to them is finished. So
they're working already, so it's kind of like we're done, and there's so much more left.
Yeah, and it can be harder to come back,
Totally.
That's where the transformation labs and the security workshop, they do come into it. But it's harder to restart the conversation, obviously, than to kind of introduce it at the beginning. No, I have to say, I really like that idea. I think we're going to try to do something similar as like a little onboarding. Use
for sure.
Use a security key.
I really like some of the security in Drive, doc sheets and slides. So I mean, you can't get ransomware, which is impossible on a Google file format. But also some of the controls, like shared drives.
Yeah, the shared drives are great. That
differentiation, the different levels, they're brilliant. So it means for different sort of levels of access, maybe you want to give like a contractor or someone temporary that sort of lower access where they can add files and edit, but they can't even mess up the folder structure. They can't delete. They can't add new people. That sort of stuff's brilliant.
Have you seen the new stuff where you can actually it's not new now, it's probably almost a year ago now they released it, but when they kind of did that change from chain drive to shared drive, and they added a few features where you could restrict the controls of the shared drive to the people who are in the shared drive. Not only could the files within it sort of be shared with those people, but people couldn't go and share them externally once it was placed within that shared drive. And from a security point of view, that's amazing.
It's brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? Now, I do feel there's a use case definitely for more granular sharing within shared drives. Now that's a
number one feature request.
Yeah, number one feature request from customers. But I also do understand why Google have done it. Do you know what I mean?
It simplifies it so much. If it's all top down, very easy to see who has access.
I was wondering, could they release it in such a way where admins could enable it if they wanted, like a granular
sharing. That would be very helpful, yeah.
So not all shared drives have it, but if you want, you could enable it.
Or even first level. Right, first level folder, and that way, it's still that balance of being able to manage it quite easily.
But not 7 folders down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I think that would work.
But something like that helps with that quite a lot, because you can see the individual access, and you can even change it, right? So going back to the third-party tools, that is another one we very much like. That's fantastic.
We love GAT as well, and obviously they're an Irish company, so shout out to Robert Baker. And I know GAT are focused even more. Robert sold actually the traditional business, Baker Networks, and he's focused 100% on GAT now.
It's fantastic.
They're going to be expanding even more.
Some of their new stuff is brilliant. So
they're just coming out with updates every week.
Control stuff in Chrome, so you can say you're not allowed to access stuff from these IPs.
Is this the GAT Shield stuff?
Yeah.
The GAT Shield tool is
really impressed.
Cool. He showed me that when it was kind of first launched, and it's very, very interesting. I must go and do an interview with him actually, because he's kind of done a lot in recent years, and it's such an impressive tool. Do you know what I mean? For very cost effective. I mean, you compare it to other tools in the marketplace, like your Better Clouds and your Cloud Locks and stuff. Some of them are 10 times the price. Right. Do you know what I mean? It's
blows them all out of the market.
Yeah, and I think one of the challenges is with some of those other companies, they're good at the marketing and they're good at that sort of other side of things, or maybe better at that, or put more money into that. But in actual fact, the GAT tool can do just as much,
if not more.
Yeah, if not more than many others. Any other security stuff that jumps to mind, or kind of covered most of it, I think.
I mean, well, the settings in the admin console, they're adding to it all the time. You can see that Google are really focusing on security. Some of the context-aware stuff, fantastic. So you can only access, Drive from this country. You can access Gmail wherever you want, but you're only allowed to access Drive from this country. That level of granularity,
and apparently
fantastic.
there's more stuff coming next year from what they were kind of saying around the security and around Drive and stuff. I think it's interesting. Donald was saying to me recently that he can remember when the admin training he could do it in under an hour. Do you know what I mean? Because there was so little in the admin panel, he could do it over Hangout. Like an hour was more than enough. And now it's like a half day, and he's not even through it. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's almost like saying to customers, so what area do you want to know about? Because there's so much. We can't go into specific granular detail on everything, or we'll kind of be here for days. So it is interesting. The admin panel itself has grown up, and that comes back to Google growing up itself in terms of being a more enterprise-focused tool. I mean, the size of customers that they have now.
Yeah, we've got a product that we do called a security review, or I guess it's a service.
Security workshop,
But those things are brilliant. So we look at a domain and we look at all these settings, especially if they've got business or enterprise. There's so many settings they can dial up or down, and we can look at them all, and we can pick emphases on focus areas that they want to look at.
Mobile device management.
Or do you care more about Drive? You not care so much Gmail? This is really important for you.
Yeah, what's your kind of area of focus? Yeah, the security workshops have been big. We've been doing loads of those, particularly with customers. I'm talking about that re-engagement with customers who've been on the product for a long time. Do you know what I mean? So it's a perfect way to re-engage with a customer. Transformation labs, they're great for like that kind of workflows and maybe working with HR or marketing or sales. But for working with the IT team, security workshops, perfect.
Very clear value add, right? The change management stuff's more abstract.
It is a little bit, and it's different teams. I think IT are involved, but they're more helping out. Do you know what I mean? You don't
facilitating.
You don't really do a transformation lab with the IT team. They're more like you guys already know this stuff, so you're just helping us out.
Totally.
Maybe with the project. Whereas the security workshops, as you say, such a value add for them, and it's tangible. Do you know what I mean? That at the end of it, they come out with a report. They've had a workshop. There's been some learning for them. Often, they know more about the admin panel than they did before, and more about the settings and stuff that they can put in place. And we often will work, and I know you guys probably the same. We work on the policies as well. So at the end of it, okay, when you offboard a user, what is it that you do? Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously you back their data up. Obviously you suspend the account. But like, what other settings or controls? So much stuff that you can do, and where is that information going? Is there when someone emails that user afterwards, is that going somewhere, or is it bouncing, or what's happening with that? So the whole offboarding process is often a huge challenge for customers. Do you know what I mean? And so I think ourselves and the third-party tools and the security workshop side, they can really help with that. Do you know what I mean?
We've got a couple of cool customers who use that in their marketing strategy. Their security is baked into their their value offering to the customer. So like we've got sort of FCA compliant companies, and they have like web pages with diagrams about how Google protects them and their data, and everything's auditable. So any doc that they do is fully auditable with revision history. They record their Hangouts calls, and they store these as like customer data in Drive, and it's protected by Vault, of course. All fully auditable and transparent.
And like that's with security nowadays, it's the transparency piece. That is what people want. They want to not just sort of say that you're secure, but they want some sort of transparency to know, again with the GDPR thing, who are your processors, sub-processors, what's the contracts that you have in place, what's your NDA, what's the security controls? Are you using two-factor authentication, or are you using tools like Google that are secure and keeping your data secure, and therefore if I work with you, my data secure? They're the kind of things that are just necessary now, almost, to kind of work.
G Suite gives you all the tools to do that, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a good thing to end on. Get the shades back on.